Here we will start chapter 3 lesson 2, which is talking about the 6 linked, influenced and limited traits. The first topic is 6 linked traits, and the 6 linked traits are somatic traits. They are genes located on the sex chromosome, so they are not related for the sex chromosome, but they are somatic traits, but it's a place on the sex chromosome, so we name it 6 linked. And this appearance is not affected by the sex hormone, because the sex hormone is important for the sex chromosome. But here we have only the trait. Instead of being on the gene of somatic chromosome, this trait will be on the gene of the sex chromosome. This discovered by scientist named Thomas Morgan during studying the eye color of Drosophila insects. We have a special type of flies, its name is Drosophila insects. And some types of somatic traits is carried on the sex chromosome, but this not affected by the sex hormone. Sex hormone is only for the sex cells. Here in the example we have Drosophila insect, the eye color. In the human we have color blindness, hemophilia, short-sightedness and muscle atrophy. Color blindness means difference in how we can see the colors. Hemophilia means a problem in the blood. Short-sightedness means to see from near places to the eyes, not from far. Muscle atrophy means a problem in the controlling the muscles of the body. This is example in the insects, and these 4 examples in human. These are known as 6-linked trait. So again, the 6-linked means I have a somatic trait, normal trait, not related for any sex character, but carried on the sex chromosome. First, in the Drosophila eye, we will give it XX, XY, and the trait will be carried on the sex chromosome. So we have here, this is the sex chromosome, and this is the sex chromosome. The somatic trait is carried above the sex chromosome, so we write the capital letters for dominant one above the XX because it is carried on the hormone. Here we have it's carried on the chromosome, and this one carried on the chromosome. Here we will segregate the gene XR, R capital because red is dominant, over white which is R small. And here this one take the R which is above and Y is free. The gene Y don't carry any linked one. Linked one is carried on X only. So here we will read I hybrid female as we know from Mendel, and here XY red I male. Here we have all members of the first generation. We know that all the members of the first generation will be 100% dominant for the red eye. The new term here is, instead of writing 2 only letters, we will write 2 letters and above them 2 other letters. This one is the sex chromosome, which carries the somatic trait. This one is the sex chromosome XX, and this one carries the somatic trait. This is only carried on, but not affected by the hormone. Hormones secreted by X chromosome and XY chromosome affect the gonads, the sperm and the ovum, and never affect the somatic trait. Here, if we segregate the gametes, we will find that Y, I say for you before, that Y is free. So if we meet these 2, one will be XR, XR, and this XR, and by normal way, the first one is female pure red, this is pure red, and this one is female hybrid red, and this one male red eye, pure, and this one hybrid, both of them is hybrid, and this one is white eye male. So the percentage is 75 to 25. Imagine this one is Mendel first law, but instead of writing 2 letters, we will write the somatic character above it. Next one, here we have the genotypes to be more clear. The male will be XRY is free. If the Y, so the chromosomes or the characters is carried only on X chromosome. Here is divided like this, maybe capitalized, maybe small letters, and here the same will be the female. This is the male and this is the female, maybe all X, all the females may be X. Sixth linked trait in humans. The sixth linked trait in humans, we will start the color blindness. So the given will be the red and green, which by recessive gene carried on the chromosome X. We have here C2C capital, which is pure healthy, and this C small, which is infected by the problem, which is the linked gene, or which is the color blindness. This is the problem. Here we will take only one, and here we will segregate the gametes. Y is free. So here we will take 50 to 50. This is healthy hybrid female, and this is healthy male. These are the genotypes. When I say healthy, must carry capital letters. When it carries small letters, this means it's infected or recessive, infected one. The hemophilia, which is blood liquidity or a problem in the blood, it's symbolized by H capital. So the carrier mother pure is H capital, H small, and the healthy father is H capital. So here if we segregate, H capital will be on X and H small will be on Y. Here you know that Y is free, carrier only is X. So here when we segregate the gametes, we found the first one healthy because it carries both capital, and here this is carrier female because it carries only one H, and here this is healthy male, H and H small, and this one is infected male because H is small. So if two capital letters will be healthy, if one capital only, no small letters, will be carrier, and if one capital, one small will be healthy. So hybrid here or pure here will be healthy, but here this is infected because of the recessive one, which is H appears, and here are the genotypes. If we want to know more about the male pass the genes of the trait to the grandsons through his daughters, and you know the six influenced traits. For the six influenced, we have two examples, which are the baldness in human and the presence of horn in the couples. The baldness in the humans is a genetic trait, and this gene carried on the autosome of the sixth individual act to modify the dominancy of some traits. So some traits may be dominant, as you know, and some traits may be recessive. So this will be influenced by the sex hormone. But the first one, which is the sex linked, not influenced by the sex hormone, but this one is carried on the autosome and influenced by the sex hormone, which is opposite for the first case. If we move to the baldness in human, we will get the genotype pure 2B capital, if hybrid B positive B, if pure genotype BB without positive signs. So here if I have a male B plus, it will suffer from baldness. So you have a problem here in baldness. So we have two dominant. Positive charge means two dominant genes. One positive means dominant gene, but here means recessive. So here the female will suffer from baldness too. If female, if male, it will suffer from baldness. Here the male will suffer from baldness, but here the female will have the same problem because of presence of only one gene. But both of them, this is normal here. So if I see positive charges on B, which is baldness, this means we have a problem in baldness here, and here the same. But here we have two genes positive, and here we have one gene positive. But here we don't have any positive signs, so this means they are normal here. If we take this one, this means a hybrid, normal here woman, this is hybrid one, and this is bald-headed man hybrid. Here we have, we will segregate the gametes as we know, B plus, P plus, P plus P, P plus P, BB, and we will explain more about this is bald, and this is bald normal, this is bald normal, and this is bald normal too. So here we have this one, all the one is normal. So you know, if we return back here again, we have the male. Here the male suffer from baldness. Why? Because two genes carrying a positive. But if female suffer from baldness, why? Because two genes is dominant. Here in the hybrid genotype, here the male suffer from baldness because we have only one gene. But in the female, normal hair. Why normal hair? Because it doesn't express its effects. because we have here absence of masculinity hormone, which is the hormone for a male, no hormones. So if the male will be bald, if the female will be normal. So here normal hair. Why normal hair? Because no masculinity hormone. But here we have a man, so this man is abnormal, so bald hair. You will say they are the same. Why this one is normal and why this one is bald? It's because this is woman, no masculinity hormone, but this is man, we have a masculinity hormone here. The sex limited traits. Limited means the sex is for only one type of animals. So we have the sex hormone here responsible for laying eggs. So like milk production, this is only for females. So the sex limited to a trait, limited to a sec1. Egg laying, appearance of beard, this only secondary sex characters related for sex limited traits. So here milk production is only in females, not in males. The egg laying is only in the females one only, and the appearance of beard is only in the males, not in the females. Here we have a comparison between the sex linked trait and the sex influence trait. It will guide you more. And here the medical examinations before marriage is very important to know the diseases which can pass by infectious AIDS or decrease the immunity. When we make a medical examination before marriage, this helps protection of the coming babies and providing the choices to who will marry to help them in planning for a healthy family. The importance of the medical examination before marriage is the giving birth to healthy children. So if we make a good examination before marriage, this is limiting the spreading out of the genetic diseases and the problem deformities and the mental retardation. We have healthy children carrying if infected with the genetic diseases. At that time we will complete this science, technology and society. We have to some genetic fingerprints and discovering for Deveries and Watson and Crick, some definitions for the genetic fingerprint and the human genome, and this used in the medicines in forensic medicine, and this in identifying the genes causing the genetic diseases and the studying of the evolution of the living organisms. We have that importance in the genetic fingerprints or human genome. This is very important in our life, and in exoneration of persons from crime, this is by fingerprint of the genomes. In that part, it's happened in the university in London, and this research takes more time in 1984 from 1985. Thank you so much.